Just adding more is not a solution. You needed to rebuild the whole system. I will just reiterate, what we are doing is risky. And to be honest, I'm not sure if we get to the timeline we wanted to, but we are doing our best.
So when the hunting campaign was initially proposed, we thought that having the animals come back in full force would be quite a difficult undertaking.
There have been animals roaming around the island in the past, but then they have been removed around 2023. This was mainly for performance reasons, and also there was an intent to give more skill into the hunting experience.
So essentially what the hunting minigame did was it acted kind of like a throttle. Players needed to listen to an audio cue, find the clue, and then the animal would spawn. What this resulted in was essentially, at most, 10 to 15 animals in the world. So then we got to work, we started performance profiling, we got down to what happens when we add the sleep system in prototype phase. What was it actually giving us in terms of benefit? And we found that we could actually get thousands of animals and it was actually decent in terms of performance.
So what we have done, we have first of all moved all of the animals to the behavior tree system of Unreal and stayed more in line with the Unreal workflows and the Unreal pipelines. This will allow us to do better iterations on the behavior, also give them more specific behaviors to each of the animals' types, where we were a little bit limited. But then to actually put them back on the island, we had to do an LOD system effectively for AI, where we have different classes and they can scale between them.
So we have like a fully dehydrated state, which is essentially just an invisible animal that is just sliding across the world, like a semi-hydrated state where it still has complex thinking, but not any of the bells and whistles like rendering or pathfinding. And then fully hydrated actors, which is like your standard animal that you would see. And say, for example, we have 1,000 animals, maybe like 50 of them are fully hydrated, but the other ones are like dehydrated or in middle dehydrated states, which means that they're not taking up time on the CPU.
They still behave on the server. So when the player comes close, the player can perceive that the animal is still there and it might have moved a bit, it might have eaten something.
If you see a deer off in the distance, you know that that deer is going to stay there and it'll be there when you come back. And then because of that, you might have a bear that wanders into frame and then now interacts with the deer. Or if you kill the deer, it's a carcass and it might attract predators if you wanted to hunt down those predators.
We are working on this feature right now. We call it animal magnets. Again, it's a risk that you need to take if you want to get the deer. There might be a wolf coming. Maybe you can cut this in, only if there's a wolf around. If you have scanned before, there's no wolf spawning for this, right? So if a wolf is around in this situation, it can happen. It's all systemic.
Currently, the balancing is still a work in progress right now. We're looking to get player feedback on that, but essentially we're trying to find a fine balance between performance and game feel.
The settings is something that is quite keen to the community, I think. I have my personal server myself that I'm running and playing with my friends with. The amount that you can tweak this is basically down to you can tweak animal numbers, you can tweak animal population distribution of different types. What we have to do right now is we need to balance towards the official servers. If you are running your own server, experiment with the numbers. There's a lot more possible when you think about a 10-player server, for example. Bear Island is a thing. Initially, it felt way too big in the timeline we had, but the more I played the game myself and the more I looked into the code, I felt like there's a possibility. It's risky, but we are willing to take the risk and just making a better player experience overall, because this is what it's all about. So we start with animals because they were the most easy for us to move and also brought the most to the experience right now by adding them. But we have plans. We want to do more.